Yo, yo, yo. What is up, man? Yo, yo, yo. You rich? You rich yet? I don't know. About to be, man, with what's happening right now. Ethereum Classic up about to be 25% and going. Yeah, we getting it, bro. Back at it again. Back at it again, man. Let's go. What up? Cast Gem, Lee, Champagne Poppy, Wizard of Wall Street, Zombie, Kyle, Professor, what is up, man? Nathan. Show my toes. You want to see my toes, bro? You want to see my feet? I'll give you some feet action. Now we're going to do some candle licking action, bro. Whenever Amy starts to run, you already know. Hey, look at what Ethereum Classic is doing right now. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, bro. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Ethereum Classic and the correlation with AMC and what we can expect moving forward, because this was one of the things that I was waiting for. The cycle actually picked up this POI. We're 2 days late on the POI. Started on Friday going into Monday here. So the fact that we're running right now is extremely good news for AMC. Really good news for AMC. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna let a couple of you come in here, but make sure you're liking that stream, bro. We got 72 already. You gotta like that shit, bro. Let's get some more peeps in here and talk about it. Talk about it. Man, this thing is getting me all hyped up. Let's look at the minute chart here real quick. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Okay. Short-term, possible short-term reversal here with the indicator I'm using. I'm making 3 indicators right now. This one is really fucking cool. It acts similar to a whole moving average, if you guys are familiar with that. But the difference here is it uses a cycle. So the cycle is taking a bunch of, actually specifically the how the Fourier transform works, where it filters out certain frequencies and you get a smoother curve. And this one here is very, very accurate. So for example, whenever this indicator, and this is what I love about it, and why it's one of these like cycle indicators, it highlights this average that we have going on here. And you have these, well, this is a pink and a blue section. These are highlighted. Whenever you get these circles crossing, so you have the EMA here as well. There's an EMA and a whole moving average, very similar to it. And whenever you get these circles crossing through, it indicates upside or downside. And typically it is a longer reversal here. So they're very accurate whenever you see short-term signals here. So you can see that it's pink, and then you got that blue cross indicating upside, right? So yes, I'll be providing a little bit more information on these indicators in the future, but this is one that I'm currently in the works with here, and whenever I have it done, I will let you guys know. But it's really cool. Anyways, let's talk about this correlation, man, because we are up already for the day. We're up 3.35%, but really we're up about 30% overall here if we're counting yesterday as well. Okay, so let's see. Look at that shit, dude. Let's compare AMC. So here's AMC right under. And you guys can see that we're following about 4 to 6 days. I'm going to say 5 days behind. So this is what I'm expecting. And this is kind of the, just with everything going on in the market right now, we do have GameStop earnings too. So that's going to affect this probably in a positive way based on what Ethereum Classic is doing. And it should be the start, really, of this next push up. Okay, so depending on where Ethereum Classic goes next is very likely where AMC is going to go. It does follow very closely together percentage-wise. So the previous runs that we've had, Ethereum Classic for this run had a, I believe it was a 130% increase from the bottom to the top. Same thing with AMC, very close. Here, a little bit different because one of the things I mentioned was not to pay too much attention to this portion here because what was happening is the cycles were coming back together. So as soon as we came back into this channel, we were tracking similarly again percentage-wise, and that is where Ethereum started to run, Ethereum Classic started to run, and then we had the same percentage here applied to AMC right here on this run. Okay, so now we have Ethereum Classic ahead again, meaning that AMC is next on this tracking until it stops validating this, but that's, in my opinion, very unlikely. It's been tracking to a T since we started tracking back here in March, and I think this is going to be another indicator that we have here in the short term for AMC, all right? And with everything else going on, we do have the POI in October, early October, and that should set us up here to run next, all right? All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull up AMC's chart too. And then we'll hover over here, Ethereum Classic. Let's see. Yeah, crypto pumping, baby. You are right. You are right. It is pumping. Okay, so this is what I got here for the week. That's not it. Where is it? Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. It's a bullish and bearish scenario. You can find this on the website too. If you click on the AMC tab, it'll take you straight to this chart. Okay, interactive charts, part of the website. And this is the bullish scenario, which was calling for an 18% move from here, right? Anything below, I mean, and you're adding another, well, really, if it bounces off of this level, you're adding another 11% to this return here. But we're calculating it based off of the close, the previous close. So it'd be about a, yeah, close to a 30% move from the bottom here, going all the way up to 1050. Now, with the current correlation, we have Ethereum Classic up about the same, so about 30%. So if it keeps going, we might get that full cross here towards the end of the weeks, because I do see more of a flat trading week for the entire market. So for the SPY and just the overall market, where it's at right now, there might be a spring, but then sideways pressure for about 6 days, okay, going into quad witching. Okay, so quad witching is coming up not this week, but next week. And that is when I think we are going to get a massive push up in the market. I think there's a big opportunity there for a lot of stocks, including AMC, including GameStop, all these meme stocks here. So looking forward to that. I think that'll be very, very nice. But again, I do see us sort of trading sideways on the SPY. Pull that up here as well. This is my little projection here for the SPY. Okay. Spring action right around the 385 range, and right after we get that spring up here, we should start climbing back up again. Okay, I do see this as a fake out, but in case things do start, you know, reversing back and coming below these levels, so if we cross 385 and go all the way back down to 380, then things are likely to play out completely inverse, and we do get a continuation in this overall market downtrend, right? That would suck. That would be terrible. I'm not hoping for that at all, but it's in the table as, you know, a bullish rally is on the table as well, right? Both. So sideways trading day, but you're still going to get some stocks going up. They still have some POIs there. AMC. And then let's go ahead and talk about this correlation. That's what the video is. So we're going to talk about AMC and Ethereum Classic and their correlation. So we're going to pull it up on AMC's chart because this is a stock chart and Ethereum Classic trades 24/7. So we don't want that right now. We don't want that. So if you're one of those peeps that wants to know why these trade together, I'm just going to sort of sum it up for you very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take AMC's entire pattern since January. We're going to turn this right there. We're going to take away AMC's price, and we're going to look at the charts like this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to hover this right over to the right here so you guys can see why it tracks, why there's really a correlation going on here. So I went ahead and shifted this about 25 days because that's what we track here. It's about 25 days behind back here. That was the cycle that was tracking back here. Things started to, well, as time started to pass, right after we had this drop, they started to separate very slowly. And then there was a point here where they traded about a day apart. They were trading very closely, and actually the entire market was trading very closely together. So there was a very neutral beta on the entire market. Okay. Back here, you can see, based on both of these patterns, okay, AMC is originally back here. So way back here. If I pull up a little date range here, we'll start off from right about here, which was in December. You can see that Ethereum Classic started going back up. And as soon as it started dumping here, that's when you saw GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, all these meme stocks go up. And it continued this trend back and forth. So you got a pump, you got a dump, you got a pump, a dump, pump, dump, until you got to the peak, right? This pattern played out almost exactly on AMC. Okay, you can see here that if we shift it right over, and it actually started right here, guys. So this phase right here was a longer phase on Ethereum Classic, but when it starts tracking 24 days apart to a T is right around this range here. So you can see that the pattern is almost the same. Here we go. So this would be considered the mid phase here on this cycle. Then you have your projector pattern right here. Shoots all the way back up, shoots all the way back up, and then it peaks right here, right? You can see that with Ethereum Classic, we got the same thing. Okay, it's just displayed a little bit differently, but that's because crypto works a little bit differently than regular stocks. Because it trades 24/7, so a lot of patterns are going to be extended. There's going to be a lot of dry periods. You have to have more patience for trading crypto, unfortunately. You know, I don't like trading crypto that much because of that reason. The reason for, you know, crypto is you got to be watching that thing like all day, every day, and it is too much to do with it. It's better to just sort of have your money in there and not look at that for weeks. Obviously have alerts and stuff like that, but not something you want to day trade really, because it's just, it's too spread out. It's really, really spread out. Too much going on. So with that being said, I think you kind of know how these two track. Here we had about a 25-day gap between two, and then they started to come closer and closer and closer until they reached the 1-day gap here. Okay, so this was for a good bit, since November all the way till March. Again, once we had this March short here in the entire market, we started to separate slowly again, and now we're coming back in the same cycle, right? Except it's not, it is starting to separate again, and this was one of the things I talked about, is that over time you're going to get these cycles separating slowly. And that's exactly what we're getting right now. Okay, we're tracking about 5 days behind, and we have AMC, or we have Ethereum Classic going up right now, and it's up about 25 to 30% and going, dude. It's fucking going up again. Let's pull it up. How we doing? 40.50. Yeah, dude, things are looking pretty good. All right. Yeah, and this, dude, this candle, this was a 1 minute candle right here. This was 6%, guys. It went from 37 to 39. 6% right here in 1 minute. That's insane. I mean, you really, like, you wanna catch these, like, when they happen, because they happen so fast. This was 5 minutes right here. 31 to 34 bucks. And then right around this $32 range is when it started to gap up. And it's funny because most of these cryptos, guys, that do this, there's always a fake out event. So here it, like, you get a massive gap down before this thing just starts to spring back up. And most of the time this will happen. Does it look like here on the chart? Yeah. These motherfuckers, look at that. So it'll make you think, like, they'll make you think that it broke the trend when it fucking didn't. It's just a fake out. Look at that shit. 1, 2, 3, fake out, boom, goes up. All right, all right, all right. Crypto's fun. Yeah, it's fun, Isaac. It is fun trading for sure, but it does require a lot more. It requires a lot more patience with looking at the charts. Like it's gonna be like things happen a lot quicker during intraday markets than they do crypto. I can assure you that, man. Because this thing trades 24/7. So when you take this pattern, you do have to make it into a fractal, and you have to shrink it when you are comparing it to AMC with a lot of the patterns that we do track, because there's just, this is why you get a gap on these, right? If we compare Ethereum Classic here, okay, you can see all these gaps, and they're not going to be filled in, but you can, like, if I were to take that pattern originally here, it would look like this. It would look a lot more spread out than it looks here. So there's a lot of time in between where the, crypto's not doing much. And that's the complete opposite for stocks. The stocks happen very fast. You're very limited to what can happen intraday. So, whenever you do catch crypto, though, for example, what's going on right now with Ethereum Classic, obviously that's something you want to play and you want to trade. But just in general, for me, it's more of a, have an alert, leave it, do its thing, and then focus on, if I'm going to be day trading or anything, it's going to be on stocks. All right, let's see, man. Let's see. Let's fucking answer some questions. Aldo, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, right, the Sunday stream. Sunday, Monday stream. It's very possible, yeah. And a move here. So liquidity transfer what it is. Liquidity transfer over to AMC would look, and let's see what a 30% move would be about 1150. What I had here for the week, though, and we are tracking about, I'm going to say about 4 to 6 days behind. So based on the tracking that I had, it would, it would set Amy to go up earlier in the week here, and then possibly consolidate and come back down before setting up next week, possibly on Friday. Friday can be that start here. A lot of the times with a lot of stocks that go up and they have a lot of volatility, the POIs that we track, they tend to go up around the end of the week into the next week. Because what happens is the hedge funds, market makers are raising those premiums by raising volatility towards the end of the week. They get to sort of benefit from that as theta kind of becomes in their favor at that point, because you're fighting that theta over the weekend, and then sometimes they take advantage of that and then dump it earlier on Monday to continue that rally. And we see that happening over here with AMC. So, for example, right here, you could see that prior to this run, we really had two events here, but you can see that the rise here going into Monday, right here. Where is it? Monday, Tuesday. So this one here is a little bit different, because most of the time it's going to go up either, towards when you see major rallies, it's going to go up in the beginning of the week or the end of the week. But when you have larger rallies, and one of the stocks that I know for sure I can show you guys this is Tilray. Tilray, the run it had prior to it was, I believe it started running around the 18th going into the 21st. And then that is when it just shot up, right? But it traps a lot of people, because most people don't want to hold stocks towards the end of the week, so they end up selling on Friday, and they sort of benefit from that. Seen correlation with a lot of market makers doing that sort of thing. It's all the psychology behind trading is, make it so that it's extremely hard for retail to catch on to your games. Not always the case, but they definitely use psychology for it. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Psychology behind trading is insane. You think most memes will rip around the same time? If so, when we'll be busy. So most, like there are sectors with meme stocks. Meme stocks will be listed under their own little circle here, right? Like say there's 3 sectors. This one I'd say have your AMC, right? We have GME on this one, BB, Bed Bath & Beyond. You could say Express, XP. I don't even know what is Express. Bath & Beyond. And what's another one? There is, there's about, I'm going to say there's about 5 on this sector, but there's a lot more. There's cost too. You can put that in there. Now, these aren't, or what they used to be at least. Before, these would track a lot closer together than they do now. Now they're sort of separating slowly, and we can even see this, with, for example, BlackBerry, right? BlackBerry hasn't had that full potential that we've seen with all these other stocks. I think it's going to have its time in the short term, actually. But these typically will track together when you have larger runs, and these have been, January and then June. The rest haven't really tracked according. Like, these have been smaller runs. They don't have, the same percentage in return. Most of these are doing their own thing, but they still go up, right? Or they still come down. So this would be like one sector here. You can transfer over to the next sector. If we're doing like crypto stocks, crypto meme stocks, you can have, your BBIG, right? There was Gree at the time. This was support.com. You have Mara, you have Riot, Canon. Like there's so many that you can put in on this crypto sort of like meme stock. They're not really. I would say BBIG is probably going to be the one that is considered mostly considered here. Meme stock, Mara, Riot. Those are going to be a little bit more focusing on I guess, the fundamental part and why those don't track, won't have like a better, I guess you could say like a better tracking here with like high manipulated stocks. And even though I believe that everything's manipulated, I think there's more potential for the ones that are meme stocks, because those follow a very, very specific cycle that these guys have put in place, and I think they're easier to track. I think with the market, there's a little bit more room to have error because there is a lot more volume as far as, and I'm not talking AMC or GameStop, I'm talking about the smaller meme stocks, but there is a lot more volume displayed. For example, the SPY, right, indice, it's going to be a little bit harder to manipulate that versus something like, you know, AMC, GameStop, right, BBIG. So there's another one, and then we could say the last one, have your Ethereum, CEI, right? There's a lot, dude. There's just endless amounts of stocks out there that a lot of really just circling around Wall Street Bets or Twitter, anywhere, and these guys sort of catch on to that idea and then start trading these against each other. These become their individual. Actually, let's do this. Let's do, and this is not like, these are not specifically accurate, so just bear with me. Tilray, CEI, Ethereum. We'll just do that for now. Tilray is actually with back here, okay? But I'm trying to show you guys the example that I'm showing here. So say that's red, say this is green, and this is blue, right? So you'll have one go up first as it comes back down, and it does that, right? This will be red. All right, we'll say that one goes first. That's red. Take that out. And then what happens is you clone this guy and you put it right there. And this is as time is moving by, this is what you get. This is the effect you get in the market with these meme stocks, and really the entire market. But one goes up, the other one comes down, one goes up, the other one comes down, and they leverage all of these positions using individual stocks. I really do believe that this is how it works. And this applies to crypto. This just like we're seeing right now, Ethereum Classic go up. That liquidity, I believe, is going to be used once it starts coming back down against AMC, GameStop, sort of this meme sector that we have going on back here. And we're going to go up, right? That is what is probably going to happen because we've seen a correlation here and it hasn't failed us. Okay, so until it stops failing, until it starts just tracking completely inverse and just not with it, then we move on to the next thing. But this is just one piece of the puzzle to this larger, what is this cycle analysis that, you know, we're doing here with AMC and all the stocks. It's just one piece of the puzzle, and it's one of the ones that has been very, very accurate, right? This is not, apart from everything else that we're tracking, the points of interest, which all of them have tracked here. Those, you know, that's something else to talk about here, is that towards the end of September, going into October, we have the POI, another major POI, and that is a volatility zone where we could see the price go up or down very quickly. And the fact that Ethereum Classic is going up right now is just a good indicator for AMC in the future, right? For AMC to come back up. So but yeah, this happens to your point, man, about, yeah, that a lot of these catalysts are tied into this agenda. If they're going to release something, it will likely be very close to what this point of interest is. They're going to release the catalyst around this date. They're either going to release it very early on and say, yo, AMC is ready to pump, and then they short it for like 2 weeks, and then they start pumping it and say, I told you so. Because people tend to react quicker with catalysts if they just, they push it out so that people jump in on the stock and then feel, like they're second guessing themselves because they did something wrong, and then they start pumping the stock, right? And this happens the other way around. you know, if the news is not bullish or whatever, really, you could say it at the top too, like, yo, we are dumping or AMC, or like, you know, like we're shorting AMC now, right? You have all these hedge funds doing that. We've had this happen already like 3 times. Back here, Mudrick did the same thing, and then you saw the price go like shoot all the way back up. They said they were dumping their shares, and then they lost out on, you know, this massive run here. They really could have made a lot more money doing that, but it's all part of this plan, in my opinion. We had the same thing happen over here. Somebody said, I forgot if it was like Iceberg Research or something, like we're short AMC, whatever, blah, 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 and then the price starts going back up, right? Very, very crazy sort of thing, man, these hedge funds do. It's nasty. It's a nasty game. Eddie, thank you, man. Imagine ETC is a takeout for AMC. A takeout. A takeout, man. A takeout for AMC. The way I'm looking at it, dude, is like realistically with everything that's been happening and all this that just keeps repeating itself, is just you're just validating the manipulation that's happening over and over and over again. The more it happens, the more validation you get that there is, you know, something happening behind the doors, and that is these algorithms that are just really just repeating, and this algorithm that's very predictable, because it has been like nothing has changed here. For the cycle, I guess I can pull up AMC's chart here, but for the cycle, it's always been, you know, 62 days long on this entire thing, right? And that hasn't changed. This has all been the same 62-day cycle for ever since we had the June run, guys. We've been tracking this since the channel started right back here, but it's shown us that the points of interest don't change, that they're tracking under a cyclical time frame here, which is 2 months. So it's a little bit different from GameStop, but yeah, man, this is crazy, fucking crazy. All right, let's see, man. Yeah, right, dude. 3-day weekend. You're like, yeah, you have Monday off, but I want the market to open, man. Yeah, something about the market being open is just exciting. I'm sure you all feel that way. Yeah, I would think so. Hang tight. Yeah, they're pumping crypto to get ready for this liquidity transfer that really is going to be spread apart. And you know, you see a bunch of cryptos being pumped right now. Not only Ethereum Classic, there's a lot that are being pumped, and they are, you know, they have their individual purpose. You know, if you got 3, just like we talked about the sector thing, I think certain cryptos are tied in to one sector, you know, and then another sector is tied to another set of cryptos. And I have seen a correlation with this, but you see Doge, Shiba Coin going up around the same time frame. They typically trade about 1 to 2 weeks apart. Then Ethereum Classic is in its own as well. It's very closely tied in with Bitcoin Cash. I've seen that correlation too. And then you have other ones that go up as well, like Luna was going up, right? That has its own sector as well. And I believe they use this liquidity for individual sectors in the market. Because, dude, that's the thing about crypto. It ain't regulated. You know, that's the thing with decentralized markets. If you're a hedge fund and you have a lot of money, I think it's a lot easier to control it and just create these pump and dump schemes, right? That you sort of get. So it is what it is. But hey, when you figure out their game, why not play it? If they're going to play this nasty game, play it. Play their game. Yeah, let's talk about the 62-day cycle. Where are we at? So this is where we're at, man. On the 30-minute here. We are currently playing the 62-day cycle inverse. Let me mirror this. Here we go, 3. You can see right here, we started playing the pattern out inverse right here. And you can see it's tracking to a T, man. Right? See that? Okay. For those of you that are not aware of how the 62-day cycle works, it's not, you know, this isn't meant to track to a T like every single pattern or anything like that. The middle portion is very accurate because I believe this is where the algorithm works very hard to suppress the price action. So you get limited amount of volume, and you can see that right here. You have a very dry stage, right? As soon as we got that ape merger, the ape launch, right? Then we saw a lot of volume come in, and that was around the blue pattern, and then we started to trade sideways. And that is where you get this sort of dry volume in the market. You can see back here as the cycle is curling back up, it's playing out inverse from this macro chart that we have going on here. And as soon as we get to what the point of interest is, which is the beginning, because that's the run, this either plays out completely inverse, and you get an inverse POI, or it plays out identical. And in this case, we had an identical match. You can see that it's all the points of interest here are lining up because well, you have what is this crown pattern, the Bitcoin pattern. Same thing back here. It's a crown. 1, 2, 3, and then it starts coming back down here. So it's, yeah, man, right now we have the start here to what, well, it was tracking identical, and then it flipped. So it's flipped now, and then now we have a little bit more information on what's going to happen next because of Ethereum Classic. So if things start, you know, if things continue to rip here, and we sort of understand things from that perspective, then things should start to curl back up towards the end of the week going into next week. I think next week is when we're going to have a massive turnaround here in the market. And yeah, that's really all these stocks, man. All stocks should start to come back up again. If they don't, then we're going to see a fake out. And what's going to happen is even if we get a pump, say that Ethereum Classic starts coming back down, that would suck. But we can get a fake out and then things start falling very quickly. We have seen fake outs happen. They happen with Bitcoin. I'll show you an example of this because I think it's important that people understand this too. But I'm going to show you what happens with fake outs. So when the market thinks things are going to reverse, there's going to be certain events here. And this is the 1 hour chart. So let's zoom out here a little bit. Let's go on the 3 hour. Before any reversal or dump, you typically get the inverse happening here, but let's look at this back here. So before this dump, you can see that there's 2 pumps. There's 2 pump and dumps right here, 1, 2. And what this does is it creates hype. It creates buying pressure from, well, they're trying to get retail here, right? These institutional hedge funds. And there's 2 before, well, there's actually 3. 1, 2, and then 3 right here. And then right on that third one, we start dumping back down. And this is a lot of volume coming in. And here you saw I believe either Doge or Shiba coin go up. And this is the cycle here, guys. So these tend to go up right before there's a massive dump in the market. Okay, so here, because these will pump and then they dump very quickly. You can see that back here. Pump, dump. Pump right here, April, and then dump. And same with this back here. Pump and dump. So these I had, like, they have their points of interest too, and they track, but they're obviously a lot riskier because they're treated more as like meme cryptos, whereas we have Ethereum Classic is a little bit more stable in that it tracks AMC, right? But it's more stable. Back here, sure, it did dump, or it did pump, and then it completely dumped, but it's not the same as these, you know, smaller pump and dumps. Here's another example of that. It'll be a fake out, and then it starts dumping again, right? So I'm hoping that's not the case here. I don't think it will be, because I am tracking, well, right now the POI that we were tracking on the website is 44, and we're very close to that. We're about 2 days late on the website. I'm going to show you guys, going to pull this up here just for reference so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay, let's pull it up here. Chrome. Cool. So here's a website, right? You go on, we can test all these out here real quick, but we're going to go on interactive charts. Let's see here where it is. Okay, so this is something you get with the Discord premium here, but so you need a password, obviously. So we're going to do that password here. Here are all the charts. Yep, you saw them. There we go. Let's go Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic. Here's the POI. And this is the cool thing about interactive charts. You can, so from the point that I post them, you get this curve that indicates the price. Things are a little bit different now because you actually get the percentage. It goes up, and the low, depending on if there is an inverse POI or if it is likely, right? So you press play on this, and it shows you the return. So twice already the POIs have been very close. The previous one I posted was back here, and this one was about a day apart. This one right here is 2 days apart from Friday. So these are, again, they're formulated and they track through what is cycle analysis. And cycle analysis is very, very particular because it involves, you know, really looking at the entire market and looking at, you know, derivatives, looking at pattern analysis, looking at the sector rotation thing, you know, studying individual cycles and comparing them with each other. So kind of like the example I was giving here about how things rotate, right? They start rotating against each other, and you analyze individual stocks or individual cryptos and compare them with each other to, you know, to narrow down these points where things go up or down, right? And then after you find the POI, the point of interest, then you have to do some technical analysis to understand what these hedge funds are trying to do, like what they're trying to create here from a technical perspective, because in the end, these guys are going to try and, you know, the thing that everybody knows here is that charts create what is technical analysis, but I still believe that's, you know, manipulated. So they're going to try and synthetically create a pattern that could be something else later. It could, you know, this could be a double top on the monthly chart or on the weekly chart, but right now it's completely something else, right? It's a different time frame. And I think they do that a lot to mess with, or, you know, mess with us here on what things could be in the future. So looking at POIs, the cool thing is that you really have a time frame to work with here, because if the POI is right here, and say the stock is trading, well, in this case, let's do this. If a POI, point of interest, is back here, and the stock is where it is now, well, then you have this much time to work with to create whatever pattern you're tracking. Like, what is going to happen here if I have this much time to work with? What can this pattern end up being, where it would kind of make sense or make sense, you know, depending on what these guys are trying to push out, right? And that's kind of how those POIs are set, if they are positive or not, or if they're inverse. But yeah, man, that is sort of the whole thing here with cycle analysis, and it's cool stuff. All right, let's see what Ethereum Classic is doing now. Okay, yeah. So there's a lot going on here, and just right off the bat, what I can tell you is based on this setup, this is very similar to AMC in March 12th of this year. So this pattern right here, it's almost the same. This is the minute chart here. Let's see. It's definitely got similarities here. You can see that it is a little bit different here. But the thing about these patterns, guys, is that there does come a point where if you see a stop tracking, when it does, like a lot of the times when just using pattern analysis is not the most convenient thing, because you're just relying on one pattern, right, without looking at everything else. But this is good to just have for reference if you are like a day trader or something, trading day trade, and then using pattern analysis along with indicators is a really good thing. Cycle indicators specifically is what I use. So right now I'm working on 3. This one is called spots, and again it does use that. It's a smoother, so it's a filtered smoother that filters out certain waves using cycle formula. So it uses like cosine and pi and all that shit. It's very similar to the Fourier transform, using those filters to create this. And then there's an EMA running through, and then as soon as you get an intersection here, there's a circle. But the cool thing about this and why it's not similar, or why I wouldn't compare it to an EMA cross at all, is because these are highlighted sections here. So when the price narrows down these frequencies, some of the points here, and this is the minute chart, so we got to go on a different time frame. Let's do, really like the 3 hour. 3 hours, one of my favorites to look at everything here. But you can see here, as soon as you get that intersection with the opposite color, so this is pink, you got a blue circle here, it crosses through and you get a massive push up or down. And it's really, really, really accurate here. So one of the ones I use here, and it does work really well intraday. As soon as I get these fixed up and ready to go, I'll give you guys a little bit more information on that. Really cool stuff. All right. Echo, what is up, man? Mountain Saint Funk. Well, that's the goal, man. Like, if, with everything going on here, as it keeps just validating things, I think there's going to come a point where when AMC does squeeze and GameStop, there's going to be like documentaries, man, that are going to come out, and somebody's going to put something together and be like, yo, this is what was going on. So, dude, I mean, it's only a matter of time. Like, there's some shit going on in the markets. We know it. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. So it's only a matter of time, dude. It's only a matter of time before this all goes down. And if it's fair, and if it happens, and if it's fair, I think things are going to be exposed in the market for sure. Yeah, it's about 5 right now, 4 to 6 days behind. So about 5. Yeah, Ethereum Classic, man, looking so good. It's a nice little projected pattern, and it is just hovering over. Okay, it's just hovering over, dude. Let's see if we can take this and transfer it over somewhere else. Here we go. There's a lot, man, but this one I think would actually, it might fit a little bit better on GameStop's chart, but I'm not sure. So let's see. well, GameStop, that's the thing, man. GameStop had a lot of different, it had a series of projectors. GameStop had, yeah, a series of projector patterns before ripping. And it was that broadening wedge that really we were expecting for AMC, but I think AMC's is looking a little bit different, you know? So that's why I'm expecting a larger move up to complete that broadening wedge. And you know, GameStop was a lot. GameStop had a cleaner broadening wedge before ripping back up, but again, you know, stocks are going to do their individual things based on what they want to do, man. But yeah, GameStop does have earnings this week as well, so that will be exciting, and hopefully that is one of the, you know, catalyst put in place to go in hand with this POI that we have going next. Because if there is a good catalyst or something and the price starts going back up, they might use that really close to what we have here for the middle of September, which would be very good for the week after. We should see a lot of stocks go up. So let's hope, man. Let's hope that the market is trending up and that these agendas are good and nothing to do with a crash or anything. That wouldn't be good. What up, Austin? BBBY. That's a good one, Ivan. So I'm personally not going to be on Bed Bath & Beyond right now just because it did have its run. It's still very high in volatility. I'm a kind of trader, I guess you could say, that focuses a lot on options. So if I'm trading options here and there's a lot of volatility on a specific stock, then I tend to sort of let it do its thing. For now, it has been, you know, it did take a massive dump from 30 all the way back down here to $8. So that's a bad, you know, bad hit. Now, I'm not saying that with the macro POI, it's likely that this continues to go back up, but I don't see the potential here specifically for Bed Bath & Beyond. I see a greater opportunity for AMC, GameStop, the ones that haven't had a turn to go yet. BlackBerry is another one. BlackBerry is one that also has been suppressed. Tilray is another one that has been suppressed. So those guys are next. I think those are next on the sector rotation here with memes. Cheers, man, from Texas. Cheers, cheers. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi wants you to slap that like button real quick. We gotta get some rallies up in here, dude. We got AMC rallying soon. That would be awesome. So we can get some rallies and some ABBA up in this. Get some ABBA. Yeah, Chris Brown is going to be around mid-September towards October for sure. Sure, and that is based on the current tracking that we have is a big piece. Ethereum Classic is a major piece to this rally that is expected in the short term. So as long as it continues to go up here, as long as it continues this rally, we should be good to go. I mean, I personally trust Ethereum Classic a lot with these major runs. Nothing in between, really. Anything that happens after runs like this, guys, anything in between is not something that I track or anything with AMC. Like, I don't look at it in too much detail since it is trading just sideways. There's not a lot going on. But now that we have this pop, you know, it is a point of interest, right? It is a point of interest for AMC. And that would lie here in the next couple of days. Put it up here. ETC plus, yeah, man, T plus what? T plus 5. T plus 5, baby. And yeah, it's the, you know, mid cap stocks, smaller cap stocks, you know, the ones that have been just short to the ground. I think those are really the ones that you know, looking at here for everything going on. Sure, some of the blue chip stocks have been shorted as well, and they, you know, they're tied down to individual sectors, but you know, the majority of stocks here that are going to have massive rallies are going to be the smaller and mid cap stocks, really, well, small cap stocks. But that's where I'd say AMC would lie somewhere in between small and mid cap. I'd say AMC would be right in there, without fundamentals being tied to it for sure. Because fundamentals, just like at this point, I personally don't pay too much attention, man, to just fundamentals in general, because there's just so much information out there that is just not reliable and it's typically will be tied down to a agenda. Whatever market maker is controlling that sector, it'll be tied down to their agenda, man. AMC. All right. But yes, I will be going live a little bit more often now during the week. So do expect more live streams for sure. I'm excited for tomorrow, man. I'm excited. Getting ready for these rallies, man. These market rallies. Okay. So as always, typically with you know these kinds of streams, if it's not like intraday or anything, I like to make them a little bit shorter for anybody who's not able to come in on the stream to be able to watch it and not have like a 3-hour long video or anything. And this one specifically for the AMC class or AMC Classic. Well, yeah, AMC Classic, Ethereum Classic, AMC correlation, and I wanted to just put in my input here since we do have that going up right now, and I see it as a really good thing here in the near future for AMC. I'll stay updated with everybody. If you want a little bit more updates and like intraday updates and stuff like that, you would probably get that on the Discord. So if you guys want more info on that, just click the link below. But you can also follow me on Twitter, and I do post on there, okay, every day. So I will see you guys tomorrow, man. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and you sleep good, man. Rest of your Monday. I hope everybody had an awesome holiday. Happy Labor Day, man. Fucking love you. Bye-bye.